Our topic for today is winning the battle for your mind. Think biblically in a confused world. Join me as I challenge myself to think biblically in this crazy world we live in and see if I can really find clarity in the chaos. In a world that's gone crazy, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and uncertain about what's right and wrong. Thinking biblically is about approaching life with a mindset that's grounded in the teachings of the Bible. It's all about recognizing that there's more to life than we can see and experience. For many of us, the idea of thinking biblically seems old-fashioned or out of touch, but I did argue that it's more relevant than ever. One of the biggest challenges we face when trying to maintain biblical worldview is the constant bombardment of conflicting ideas and opinions. Social media, new outlets, and even our friends and families can make it difficult to discern what's true and what's not. We're constantly being told that our values and beliefs are outdated and irrelevant or intolerant. It can be tempting to just go along with the crowd and avoid conflicts, but as followers of Christ, we are called to stand firm in our convictions even when it's hard. The pressure to conform can be intense. It's easy to feel like we're the only ones who's thinking this way. Maintaining biblical worldview in today's society can feel like swimming upstream. Everywhere we turn, we feel confronted with ideas and attitudes that contradict what the Bible teaches. It's not easy though to stay on course, but I believe that's exactly what we're called to do. When we think biblically, we are not just thinking about our personal faith, we're thinking about how to live out that faith in a world that desperately needs it. And let's not forget that we're not alone in this journey. There are countless of others who are also seeking to live out their faith in a world that's often hostile to us. Now, let us pause here and look at some scriptures on thinking biblically. Romans chapter 12 verse 1. Romans chapter 12 verse 2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. Philippians 4 verse 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. This Bible verse is a guide for those whose minds is a guide for where our minds should dwell. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 5. We demolish argument and every pretension that sets itself against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ. This Bible verse teaches us that thinking biblically means filtering our thoughts through Christ. Colossians chapter 3 verse 2. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. This Bible verse is teaching us it's about a call to refocus from worldly to heavenly values. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. This Bible verse is teaching us to think biblically, which means trusting God over personal logic. Isaiah 55:8-9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. This Bible verse teaches us that God's ways are higher than our ways, and also biblical thinking aligns with our biblical thinking should align with His wisdom. Ephesians 4:23 verse 24. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. This Bible verse emphasizes that the changes starts with renewing of our thoughts through the Holy Spirit. Now let's continue our discussion. It's also nothing that having a biblical worldview doesn't mean that we have all the answers. It means that we're committed to seeking wisdom and guidance from the scriptures, even when it's hard. We're not trying to impose our will on others. We are simply trying to live out our faith in a way that's authentic and meaningful. And that's not always easy, but it's worth it. So how do we actually apply biblical principles in our daily lives? For starters, we can begin by seeking wisdom from the scriptures whenever we face difficult decisions. We can also look for ways to serve others and show them love, the love of Christ. When we are faced with tough situations, we can ask ourselves, what should the Bible say about this? Or how can I respond in a way that honors God? Let's look at a specific example. Imagine you're facing a difficult situation at work and you're not sure how to handle it. A biblical approach might involve taking a step back, praying for guidance, seeking counsel from trusted friends or mentors. It also might involve being willing to take a stand for what's right, even if it's unpopular. The story of Daniel is a great example of thinking biblically in the face of adversity. When Daniel was taken captivity by the Babylonians, he was faced with a choice to conform to the culture around him or stay true to his faith. He chose to stay true to his faith. As a result, God was with him in a powerful way. The book of Daniel is full of examples of people who taught biblically and stood firm in their convictions even when it's hard. Their stories teaches us that thinking biblically isn't just about having the right answers. It's about having a deep trust in God and his sovereignty. One of the most powerful teachings in the Bible is the promise that God is with us even in the midst of chaos. In Psalm 23, David writes about walking through the darkest valley, not being afraid because God is with him. That promise is just as relevant as it is today when David wrote it. In a world that's gone crazy, thinking biblically can provide a sense of clarity and peace. It's not always easy though, but it's worth it. When we think biblically, we're not just trying to navigate the challenges of the day. We are trying to live out our faith in a way that honors God. So, I want to leave you with a challenge today. Let's all try to think biblically no matter what's going on around us. I did love to hear from you how do you apply biblical thinking in your daily life. Leave a comment and let me know. And if you're interested in exploring even more about what it means to think biblically, be sure to check out my next video, another video on my channel. God bless you.